On the phone with us now, Al Telgenhof, head coach of the Petoskey Northman baseball team, and also running for Emmett County prosecutor. Good morning, Al. It's nice to have you on the show.
Good morning, Vic. But, hey, I'm in Charlevoix, not Petoskey. But
where are you this morning?
Good to be here.
That's right. You're in Charlevoix.
I'm Charlevoix coach and running for Charlevoix County prosecutor.
Where did I get all that other stuff from?
Well, I don't. It must be my evil twin brother or something.
He hit his head. It's okay.
It's so early in the morning. All right, so Charlevoix. At least I had you on, going to say, okay, whatever. All right, Coach. Good morning to you. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. Again. How are you?
Oh, I don't know. Apparently, I'm not doing very well. It's hard for me to get going. It's been such a long week. All right, let's talk a little baseball. How's it been so far this season? Well,
it's been from a win-loss standpoint, kind of a mixed bag for us. We are 8-10, so a couple of games under 500, but actually have had some real good baseball this season and lost a few one-run games that we could have pulled out. Like last night, we played Manistee and pulled one out in extra innings in game one, and then lost game two by 1 run. So got a great bunch of kids, got a great senior class, and hoping to still do good things in the district tournament coming up.
When does the district tournament start? Is that end of May?
Yep. There's if you have a pre-district game, some teams do, that's on May 28th. For us, we drew a bye, so we will start on June 2nd in East Jordan. We play Mansalona June 2nd.
All right. How many seniors do you have on this team this year?
I have 5 seniors. And the neat thing about it is that most of them have been with me for 4 years. We went a couple of years without a JV team. So this group of seniors played varsity baseball as freshmen and have come up through the ranks here, and we're really seeing it pay off here in their senior year. So that's neat to see.
Weather's been a little cool. I mean, we went through that hot stretch when everyone was starting to practice, then it cooled off. How has it been dealing with sort of tricky weather?
Well, it's been weird. I mean, if you coach baseball in northern Michigan, you're used to, weird weather. But this year, like you say, with that warm stretch early on, it was really strange because the way that we lay out our practice plan before the season starts, we know, or at least we think we know, we're going to be in the gym. Sometimes we've been in the gym until opening day. So the first time we've been outside, first time outfielders have seen actual fly balls is first game of the season. And so you get into the habit of, okay, we're going to cover these things in the gym, and then once we get outside, we're going to switch to these things. Well, early on here, I think we had maybe 2 days in the gym to begin with and got right out. And so from a coaching practice plan standpoint, we had to do some shuffling, which it was a good kind of shuffling. We could get to things early, but then as time goes on, it's some of the mundane things that you work on year after year in the gym that you say, oh, wait, we've been outside and hitting fly balls to the outfielders, doing things we couldn't normally do, and now we've got to go back and pick up on some of the stuff that we usually start in the gym, like rundowns is a thing for us. And I thought, well, maybe I'm just disorganized. But in talking to my fellow coaches around the area, same thing's going on with them. So a little shuffling on the fly, but that's, it's high school sports, and that part's been good. But then, now we're paying for it weather-wise. We've had a lot of cancellations, and when you try to reschedule, what ends up getting bumped is non-conference. Everyone's number one priority is making up the conference games. And so we've got some, I would consider them traditional non-conference rivals, Suttons Bay, Frankfort, Harbor Light. We play year after year that we're not going to play them this year because there's just no spot to make up those games on the schedule.
Yeah, it can be a little tricky, especially because you're talking sometimes about doubleheaders, right?
Right. Yeah. That's all we play is doubleheaders. So
yeah,
so it's too bad when you lose them, but you adjust. It's not like basketball's got their 20 games and football's got their 9. Baseball, we can play generally 36 regular season games, and we schedule 36. But when you lose them to weather, I was just looking this morning. I mean, we're going to be lucky if we get maybe 25 games in this year, just because of the weather. We can't make those up.
Yeah. Al Telgenhof on the phone with us this morning, Charlevoix head baseball coach. I was talking to Coach the other day, making the point that when you start in the spring, you know that it's going to be getting warmer, as opposed to those folks who start in the fall, knowing starting out nice and then working their way into colder weather. So, and maybe this is personally, but I think you would like starting in the spring. And yeah, you're going to have to deal with some of that crappy weather early on, but at least you know it's going to get warmer, right?
Well, that's true. That's true, and that's nice to look forward to. We always joke about it here in Charlevoix that our field looks great right as our season is ending. The grass gets nice and green and grows in nice, and then our season's over. But it's fun that way. That as the season goes on, get that good weather, the guys get feeling good. It's just hard to play ball when it's 38 degrees out and hands are freezing, and we're out of that now. I mean, we had beautiful weather last night for Manistee, and play Boyne City tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get the same. So
I don't suppose there's ever been any talk, because softball, baseball, state tournament stuff all goes on at the same time. Has there ever been any discussion about maybe moving any of that stuff farther up north than where it is right now? Like I said, I got to believe that would be a technical issue, because I don't know where you'd play it up here, but I just, has there ever been any talk of that?
Not that I'm aware of. Our finals have been down in Battle Creek forever, and they've got a nice complex down there, and they do baseball, softball, and and they do it right. They really do. And I mean, it'd be nice to have it, Werfel Park or something like that, or play, up further this way. But I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Al Telgenhof on the phone with us this morning. How much do you guys work on fundamentals? I mean, I remember starting out as a kid and playing a lot of baseball, and fundamentals were huge, but I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm getting older. I just assume that maybe fundamentals, because I was just watching some softball the other day and watching baseball, the Tigers play, and one-handed catches and things like that. And every time I see that, I say out loud, come on, kids, we're going to use two hands. Are we still using two hands to catch the easy pop flies and things like that?
Well, you do that. We work a ton on the fundamentals. I like to think that, and that goes back to what I was talking about earlier with the inside stuff, because I think that when you're forced to be in a gym for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, playing baseball inside out of necessity, you're driven to those fundamentals. You can't just go out and let's roll the balls out and let them just take BP and we're just going to grip it and rip it. You can't do that, because you got to come up with activities for these kids in a confined area with bats and balls. So you spend a good amount of time with the fundamentals, but that's the kind of thing I was talking about earlier, that when you switch that whole practice plan early on and you say, we're going to go outside now, then some things get missed, and early on that you got to go back and pick up later. I had a kid the other day getting a lead off first base at the varsity level, not the way we want to do it, not an athletic position, kind of lackadaisical, and talked to my assistant and said, that's something we've got to go back and revisit. Some of these things, when you get to the varsity level and, multiply by 1,000 for the Tigers, but you take some of these fundamentals for granted. But once you start doing that, that's when it's going to bite you. And so we try to spend a good amount of time doing that, and it comes through in the games. And last night we, laid down a key bunt. We made some nice plays on defense just because we were set up right, turned double play, things like that. That if you're just going out there every day and kind of the old school one coach in the middle of the field throwing batting practice and everybody else just standing around, you're not going to get those kinds of things done. So I think it's key to all sports. It's just
Al Telgenhof with us this morning. We'll go to break. We'll come back. We'll switch topics a little bit. Go from baseball to what's going on there in the county up there. A little politics. It's the Locker Room with Vic McCarty. We'll be right back.